I was thinking about this, a very, very common critique from fans. Man, I wish these characters would get better friends. Now, look, the same could be said about, the sisters themselves, like, you know, Andy, Danny, Sabrina, Karen. But I really want to focus more on Zach and Fatima and their friend groups and how they're awful friends. Most of them, anyway. But when it comes down to it, I thought about it from the perspective of these characters are what, in their mid to late 30s, give or take. And I think about it from my perspective. I'm only 31. But then again, I've been self-employed for going on 6 years now, and I'm an introvert, so I rarely go out. And I'm not really... this one Uber driver, we had a conversation when I was being dropped off after a trip, from around town. I went to the mall or something. This was back when I was still in Lynchburg in an apartment and whatnot for roommate. And we just had a conversation. Oh, you're a YouTuber. That's interesting. And I had a bunch of stuff because this was when I would go around town and like buy clearance items from Walmart or Target or whatever, usually action figures, toys, and sell them on eBay. So he's like, wow, it's like, that's a lot of stuff. It's like, do you have a business or something? And then it got to the point where I talked about, oh yeah, well, my old job versus what I do now. And it's like, and it's not like you don't like people. It's like you just don't like to be bothered with. You don't want to be, interacting with people unless, you really want to. But I can understand that. And then he gave me his business card and whatnot because he worked in like insurance and whatnot. And I checked out the website, but it wasn't for me because it's just I do have the sales, know-how. But I just, at that point, it's like I decided, nah, I'm really just working for myself. I don't feel like working for a company again. But it really made me think about that conversation that I just told you about, but also the fact that older people, I know Kev on stage has said this several times, like, what, these people who deal with more than one woman, or they cheat and then their marriage ends. My thing is, I don't want to go through that because my wife has known me since we were teenagers and whatnot, high school sweethearts. And it takes a lot to be a good man in a relationship and a good husband because you really have to know the other person. I don't feel like going out here trying to find like a young girl and whatnot. We have nothing in common, and then I have to like re-communicate or have somebody relearn my love languages and this and that. And I feel like the same thing could be true of friends. You associate with a certain group of people because you're accustomed to them. You don't feel like going out there finding a new best friend because it takes time, effort, and whatnot. And with Fatima, apparently Angela and Belinda, they've all known each other since college, and the same is true of the sisters. So when you really think about it, that could explain why Fatima hasn't found better friends. And the same is true of Zach, where he's known at Nathan and Tony since way back in the day. He's familiar with them. I mean, finding new friends, that takes time. It takes effort. It takes the willingness to do so. Why would you want to look for new friends, even when you seriously need better friends, when these people over here know me? So I feel like that's one of the main reasons why Zach and Fatima, and to some extent the sisters, haven't really decided, you know what, I'm done with y'all. And that's not on a I'm better than y'all situation, but the fact that I realize I need better friends. Like, look, we had a good run, but you know what? I feel like I'm doing what's best for me with my new relationship and whatnot, but you all keep trying to break it up. Like you're trying to prove a point. Like, oh, this person isn't the right one, or I can do better than this person. If we were really friends, you would respect my decision. You would respect my happiness. You would want me to be happy. I mean, sure, a good friend will like say, yo, I don't think this is the right person because I know for a fact that they did foul. I got the proof. Versus someone who, a bunch of times, it seems like these quote unquote friends are just shit starters and misery loves company. So, oh, I'm in a bad marriage, so I want my friend to be single and live vicariously through them. Or, oh, my boyfriend is actually bi or gay and I'm not cool with that, so I'm single. Hey, girl, why don't you be single again too? We can go out and, have fun like we used to back in the day, go out on dates and everything and, double dates and whatnot. Basically because I'm single and alone, I think you should be too, even though you have a good relationship. So at the core, I feel like that's probably the main reason why we won't see these, characters get new friends, at least anytime soon, it's because of the fact that they are sticking with the familiar. Because like I said before, when you get older, I'm not saying you don't make friends as you get older. I'm not saying that at all. But I mean, it's about the environment you're in that create friends. Like, for example, Zach and Bryce work together, so they'll eventually make up at some point, and be cool with each other. Ain't no other coworkers. So when is Zach gonna have time to make friends? Let's see, he finds somebody else to, hang out with at the basketball court or something, or, the gym. Once you get into a certain routine, it's hard to break it, even though you should. So that's my theory as to why it's like these characters haven't gotten better friends yet. I mean, sure, Fatima and Andy have become friends as Sistas has gone on because they're co-workers. But I'm talking about outside of work. How often do you see these characters interact with other people? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll go from there.